Ripple XRP, could we be about to go to $32 in the next 32 days for XRP? That's exactly what we're going to dive into in today's video. We're going to cover where XRP is at now, where could it head to, and where could it extend to in this 2025 alt season that could be imminently away here, weeks away. We're going to dive straight into it, and if you're new here, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a like, leave a comment, and share this with every XRP holder you know, because this is going to be a juicy one. Because in the past years we've done many of these videos, especially for XRP, and it is time to cover where we're at now, because I believe XRP could be moments away for an explosive move here, and I need to get this on your guys' radar so you can be prepared for when this move happens. In the next videos I'm going to cover coins like XLM, HBAR, XDC, Flare, etc. So definitely make sure you subscribe and put that notification bell on, because I'm releasing those videos this week, so you want to be caught up to date. So before I begin, I just want to say I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just showing you on the charts with the Stargate software what could potentially pan out here. So now that we got that covered, let's dive into it. Straight out of the gate, right on our screens here, we're going to cover it. We got the Stargate software. So firstly, we have the Stargate OG signals. The vertical green line is your prepare to buy soon signal. The vertical blue line is your buy now signal. The vertical red line is your prepare to sell signal. And the vertical yellow line is your sell now confirmation. Then we have the Stargate snakes. The green zone is what I like to call the belly of the beast. Usually it's the best times to buy and accumulate at bear market bottoms before ultimately heading up to what I like to call the hot zone. This red shaded zone here is the hot zone, and usually it's the best time to take profits in bull markets for potential tops, and even better when we extend past the hot zone is an even more incredible time to take some profits off the table. Lastly, we have the Stargate Fib forecaster here on the right side, these horizontal colored lines. We have a micro Fibonacci, which is the red one, a medium Fibonacci, which is the yellow one, and a macro Fibonacci, which is the green one here. And as price moves, the Fibonacci's automatically move with it. No more manually drawing your Fibonacci's. This will automatically draw them for you as price moves. So now that we covered the Stargate software, let's get straight into it as far as where does XRP absolutely need to hold in the immediate short term if we're going to see new all-time highs for XRP. What's our concrete support floor? And that is going to be this 786 sandwich here. We have our micro 786 from this low to this high, our 786, the red one. And then we have our macro green 786, which is from the high all the way back here in 2018 January to the low that we had set in March of 2020. We have our 786 that is right at that level as well too. And it's no surprise that when we had a correction back in April, where did we find support at? Right at that macro green 786 in tandem with the purple moving average on the Stargate snakes. So that is our key concrete support floor that we absolutely need to maintain above with candle body closes if we're going to see XRP head up to new all-time highs in the coming weeks to potentially months here. So I'm going to shade that green. That's our concrete support floor. If for any reason we were to see XRP fall below that concrete support floor, which you really don't want to see, but we got to cover it, I would say if we take and connect these lows here from the wicks that we had set in December, February, April, it's likely that we could see maybe a move down to around $1.50, which is coinciding with these previous highs over here as well too from back in 2021. So that will be our next level. Worst case scenario for XRP, because as you can see, as price moves up, these snakes move up too. So that means that the floor for XRP is currently rising as we speak, and the ceiling is rising as we speak. So at press time, the top of the belly of the beast is at $1.05. We might never see XRP go below that level again. We'll have to see here, but that is our absolute line in the sand level. If XRP has any potential to see a new all-time high here in 2025. So now that we cover the downside and our concrete support levels and final line in the sands, where does XRP need to break above in the immediate short term to see a potential pump to new all-time highs? That's going to be this red market structure ribbon here on the Stargate snakes. As you can see, when we're green, green, we're in bullish market structure. As we turn red, we start to become in bearish market structure. So we need to break back above that red market structure ribbon and orange MA here on the snakes, as you can see right there. So that's our concrete ceiling currently in the short term at this moment that we absolutely need to break above if we're going to see XRP hit new all-time highs in the near future. So there we go. And if I'm getting ahead of the Fibonacci's, I could take the high that we had set back in January of this year to the low that we had set in April. That's also coinciding with the 786 retracement to the upside. So that's our concrete ceiling in the short term that we got to break above. And as you can see, if we were to break above there, where do I think we're going to immediately go to in a fast manner? It's going to be where we held resistance the last time, and that is at the bottom of the hot zone. We couldn't break into the hot zone the last time in December of 2024 and January 2025, and that's why we didn't see those $5, $10 price targets that everybody was talking about. The hot zone was like lava, pressing it down, and ultimately we had to correct lower and go sideways for it to cool off. Now that we could potentially see things gear up again by breaking above that short-term concrete ceiling, we could see us come to retest the bottom of the hot zone one more time, which so happens to coincide upon breaking above this 786 with the 1618 extension here, which is sitting at $5.42 right there. So the bottom of the hot zone at $5.27 with the 1618 extension currently sitting at $5.41. If this time around we can smash into the hot zone and maintain above it with candle body closes and with enough juice sauce momentum to keep pressing on forward, we're, in my opinion, immediately going to shoot to the top of the hot zone, which is currently at $10.15. But by the time that we get up there, as I was saying before, these snakes are moving up real time. So by the time we get up there, we could see the top of the hot zone coinciding perfectly with this 2618 breakout extension from that 786 of that concrete ceiling. I'm going to mark that level right there as well too, which is currently at $11.42. So I'm going to shade that zone right there. It's going to be a key zone. So from $10.15 to $11.42. And then we have our first key zone right here from like $5.21 to $5.41. That's our first area where we could go to. And then here's our second area where we could go to. And then we have our 4236 extension, which is sitting at $38.64. And that's sitting closely to our 1618 breakout extension of the macro Fibonacci from the green Fib forecast here, from the high that we had set in 2017 to the low that we had set in 2020. We have our 1618 sitting right there at $32. So that's our next key zone. And at that point, I mean, we have one other target here, and it's the 2618 at $1,128. And ultimately, I do not think that comes in 2025 nor next year. I think that would be something that could be reasonably attained by the end of this decade. I don't see the $1,000 XRP this time around, but I ultimately am a believer. I just don't think it's going to be as soon as everybody wants, but that is a target. So let me clean this up and let's recap, because it looks like we got our levels of where XRP could realistically and reasonably extend to in this 2025 alt season that could be right around the corner. So to recap, if for any reason we see XRP fall, we need to hold our concrete support floor, which is currently sitting at $1.65 to $1.80, absolute must hold level in the short, medium, and long term, in my opinion, if we're going to see new all-time highs for XRP in 2025. If we break below that level, we have $1.37, $1.38, and then we have the top of our belly of the beast at $1.05. And let's say there's a catastrophe in crypto and there's a once in a lifetime generational opportunity to rebuy again. We have the bottom of our belly of the beast currently residing at 52 cents. That could be the new floor for XRP, folks. So keep that level in mind, 52 cents. So that covers the downside. Where does XRP absolutely need to get above in the immediate short term to see new all-time highs? Where's our concrete ceiling? And that's between $2.78 to basically $2.97. Basically, we could chalk that up to $3. So let me drag that up to $3. So $2.78 cents to $3, a break above that level and a hold with candle body closes for even just a couple days, a week, it's very likely we're going to move up aggressively to where the bottom of the hot zone, which is currently at $5.27 to $5.41. And if this time around we can break into the hot zone, because we couldn't earlier this year, but if this time we can and we break into it and we hold above the candle body closes, it's very likely we're going to double again and go to that $10 to $11 price point, which is the top of the hot zone right there. And then if it does anything like 2017 where it stretches past the hot zone, we could see XRP potentially hit the target of $32 to $38, which we have our next shaded area of confluence of where XRP could potentially extend to in 2025, maybe 2026, if the bull market lasts that long. And then we have our mega moon target of over $1,000, which I don't believe could happen this bull market, but you let me know in the comments if you're a believer of that. In my opinion, I believe $5, this target, $5.27, $5.41, absolutely inevitable. $10 to $11, it's looking like it. It's looking like it could be the case. I mean, from current levels, and let's mark it. So from where we're at now to the bottom of the hot zone, we're talking, I mean, a double and a half, 2.5 times to that level right there. It's kind of peanuts. If we talk about from where we're at now to the top of the hot zone, that's around 4.5x to basically 5x, 4.5x to 5x. To be honest, still basically peanuts comparatively to other coins that have potential more return on investment in it. And then we have, which is much better as far as potential returns at this point, from current levels to up to 32 to 38, we're talking 14x to 17x up to those levels. So I definitely believe the 2.5x to $5-ish, that's inevitable. Up to that $10 to $11, 4.5 to 5x, definitely in my opinion could happen. But as far as 14 to 17x up to that $32 to $38 target, I'm iffy. I do see the potential of it being a possibility, but it depends on the rest of the market and how much money comes into crypto, how big the alt season is, where Bitcoin goes. There's a lot of other factors that will go into that target, but we'll be tracking it in real time. So definitely make sure you subscribe and follow along so you don't miss out. And you let me know in the comments, which one are you targeting for? Or are you just holding for the long run? You don't care if XRP goes up to $10 and then comes back down to $2. Maybe it goes up to 32. You don't even want to sell then, but then it comes back down to 3. You know, you let me know what your plan is in the comments. My plan is, and that's my plan, my personal opinion, not financial advice, is I will be absolutely taking profits, but not specifically at those price points. Because at the end of the day, and let me hide the markings here, at the end of the day, price points are price points. A lot of people, when XRP went to $3.50, were not selling whatsoever because they were banking on a $5 XRP or a $10 XRP, but XRP flashed a prepare to sell soon and then a sell now signal, showing to us here at Stargate that it wasn't ready yet. It wasn't ready yet to go to those levels, and we couldn't break into the hot zone. So as far as static price points and basing how you're going to exit based off that, to be honest, it's not the best way to go about it, just my opinion, because as you can see, if you were one of those people in December or January waiting for $5 or $10 and it never came, and you saw your portfolio balloon when it hit $3.50 and you were very excited, but then ultimately, when XRP fell down to $1.60, you were kicking yourself that you didn't take a little bit off the table. You know, that's why you don't want to wait for hard price points, because this time around, when we do see this happen, if you're banking on $10, but it goes up to $8 and you're waiting for 10, but then ultimately it comes down to 5, and then now it's at 5, but you just saw it at 8, so you're going to at least wait for 8, but then it keeps going down back to 4. I mean, you know, you get in a sticky situation. So at the end of the day, my plan is I'm waiting for us to potentially get into the hot zone, potentially at a target, but mainly waiting for that 1 week sell now signal for XRP, because every single bull market since 2017, when I got into XRP initially, we've always seen 2 sell now signals before the ultimate top. You can see the first one, the second one, ultimate top, bear market. First one, second one, ultimate top, bear market. We've already seen the first one. We've gone sideways for a bit now. When we see a move up, if we see that second sell now signal come in, that will ultimately, in my opinion, based off the entire history of XRP with the Stargate signals, it will be the ultimate top. And as you can see, if we do anything like the past, like 2017, this pump will bring us, let's say, to $10, but ultimately it'll be a year of sideways down, staircase step down, and we'll be right back at the same place a year later. So that's the thing with crypto. It's a very short amount of time going up, especially with something like XRP, where it's a very short amount of time going up, and then it's a long dragged out staircase step down. So this time around, if you're looking to actually take some profits and some cheddar cheese off the table this time around, to put some money on the side to ultimately buy XRP back lower, to accumulate more XRP for the inevitable 1,000 target at the end of this decade, then link in the bio, go to beacons.ai/Stargate. I'm putting the link in the bio, and come down here to Stargate VIP group, join the waitlist, first come, first serve. Click that, put your information in, and I will reach out to you. My name is Rob at Stargate, just so you know, if I send you a text or if I call you, my name is Rob at Stargate, and put your information in here and I'll reach out if you wanted to get kitted and suited up with the tools like the Stargate software to let you know when it's time to exit and take some profits off the table. And you can set up the signals, the sell nows, the buy nows to send to your phone as a text in real time. And you can even automate it. I mean, if you go back to that beacons link, take a look at the XRP buy and sell signals, check the past 7 years performance of the Stargate signals on XRP. I mean, when I got into crypto, initially it was always XRP, and I developed the Stargate software around this time back in 2020, specifically on XRP to nail these swings, because I got sick and tired of buying and not selling, buying and not selling, buying and not selling. And then ultimately it just kept going lower and lower. I decided to create the software specifically to nail XRP, and it ended up working on every crypto and stocks and so on. So this software was actually designed specifically for XRP, and that's why the performance is just so insane on it and how good it is. You know what? I'm going to pull it up. So as you can see here, and I made it so it started back in July of 2017, because a lot of people probably weren't in crypto back when XRP was 0.005. So I made it more reasonable and started it back when XRP was 18 cents, July 2017. And if you started with $10,000 into XRP at that time, and you just bought and you held basically almost 8 years now, bought and held, your performance would be, you are only up, buy and hold return, 1,000%. I mean, in 8 years in crypto and only being up 1,000% on a coin, not good whatsoever, given that something like Bitcoin in 2017 was, at this time, if you were to just bought Bitcoin, it was at a couple $1,000s per coin. You would have done much better being in Bitcoin and buying and holding it. But if you were to had to utilize the Stargate software with the signals, with the buy, the sell right at the top, I mean, you would have saw just a few months later, you would have saw your portfolio of your $10,000 go up by 2,000%. And you would have saw it and you would have been excited and you would have watched it erode right back to where you originally bought in, basically a year later at the same level. So that's why it's so important. And I laugh because it's just, I've seen it all. I mean, I could tell you my life story through the XRP chart. So I'm just saying, really think about getting access to this, because as you can see, the buy, the sell, the buy, the sell, the buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, it nails the swings on XRP. It's quite crazy, because with that $10,000, utilizing the buys and the sells, you would have turned $10,000 into 3.5 million, a 35,000% return on investment versus 1,000% return on investment. It's right there, in the performance. If you wanted access to this and you want to get set up with buy and sell signals straight to your phone, or you want to automate it and just have it be done for you, then link in that bio, beacons.ai/Stargate. Check the signals for the performance yourself, but join that waitlist, first come, first serve. Like I said, there's only 3 people that work at Stargate. That's me, myself, and I. So I can only handle so much. So get yourself on that list if you're serious about getting kitted and suited up with the tools ahead of time before this pump happens. And if you wanted to watch my prior XRP price prediction videos, you have one right there. And then in the Discord, link is in the beacons for that. Just click the icon, come to here, go to Moonshot Targets 2025, and you can go and scroll all the way up. I mean, you have my first initial one when XRP was like 30 or 50 cents back in late 2023, me banging the drum. It was the first one I did, as you can see right there, October 5th, 2023. Take a look at that. And then take a look at the one that I did recently think it was back in November of 2024 or a couple months before, October of 2024, banging the drum again. Then I did another one in the midst of XRP being in January or February, being at those $3 levels, talking about that sell now signal and how it's very likely we're going to go sideways for a while. And we have. One thing that we did at Stargate was we swapped some XRP into XCN because during that time, while XRP was flashing that sell, we had XCN popping out of the belly of the beast. And we 14x our XRP in a matter of 14 days by strategically swapping from one asset to the other with the sole purpose of growing that first coin that we swapped out of. So you're able to grow your XRP holdings or whatever coin's holdings by taking advantage and doing something what we do at Stargate called peer-to-peer swaps. We just did it with ZBEC the past couple weeks. We did it with XCN months ago, and we're seeing more on the radar here in 2025, especially going into this alt season. So like I said, if you want access to the tools to help you grow your bags through peer-to-peer swaps, or maybe you want to take advantage of those swing trades with the buys and sells on XRP, or maybe you're just somebody who wants to just hit the macro top with the next 1 week sell now signal, put that information in and I'll reach out and we'll get you kitted and suited up right away. And if you'd rather just book a demo straight with me on a Zoom call for free, while all these other guys charge $3,000 for a 30-minute call, I'm doing it for free. You can book a free demo right here, right below the VIP group. Book a demo. I'll show you it in real time, the results, and how you can use it for XRP and any other coins that you hold as well too, and we can talk about it. So go check that out, put your information in, join the Discord, and I'll see you over there in the Discord. My name is Rob at Stargate. If you want to shoot me a DM, you could do that, but be careful in the Discord. There's a lot of scammers, impersonators of my profile. So the best thing to do is join that waitlist and I'll reach out to you via email or text or call. So that's going to be it. I'll see you guys in the Discord, in VIP, and in the next video where I'm going to cover Stellar XLM. I'll see you guys there.